Within the game, players would have many different interactions. He or she would need to manage an entire car lot to become a car lot millionaire. The player would need to manage the car inventory, business finances, sales decisions, and staff organization. In addition to this, the player would be able to have upgrades depending on his or her profit standings. There are upgrades for the car lot to keep the player interested, and expanding the lot would provide new involvement, like creating a promotion for customers to purchase the vehicles. The player can also upgrade cars to increase the value, but the player could over upgrade a car, making it more difficult for them to sell. The player's skills are upgraded when the player completes a certain task. These player upgrades would be upgrading managing and negotiation skills, making certain aspects of the game easier as the player progresses. The game represents a simulation of a car lot, so providing these player interactions would make the game interesting and fun. The objective of the game would be to reach goals to receive upgrades and to become a successful car lot business. This all depends on the player's interactions and decisions made throughout the player's career. The goals would be reached when a player successfully sells a certain amount of cars and in turn unlocks new features. The player can place new buildings around the lot like a service department so he or he could become more profitable, but the larger the lot, the more difficult it would be to manage. In addition to this, the players are allowed to upload his or her scores to the internet so they can compete on being the best. Becoming a successful car salesman within the game could be difficult, but the time of completing a task is limitless, so the player can play the game for hours or weeks. This allows the player with the ability to play the game in multiple different ways, making the gameplay more interesting. The game does not have many rules, therefore the limits must exist. Players would need to pay attention to his or her public reputation within the game in order to sell vehicles more frequently. If they are not selling vehicles, then the process to upgrade the car lot would take much longer. Also, customers would have greater trust for the salesman with the better reputation, making it easier for the player to sell vehicles. Having fewer rules allows the player to have a sense of unlimited amount of interaction and makes the game more interesting for multiple ages. It is not a complex game, but providing the ability for the players to play the game in different ways would prove to be successful.